Welcome, everyone. My name is Danny Ross, and we're going to be having some fun today. Let's go ahead and get the screen share going. Go ahead and share where you're from. Certainly, go drop it in the chat. Also, if this is your first time here, please drop a one in the chat so I know how many new people we have on the this week's call. That makes it very helpful for me to kind of guide in the right rate in the right direction. Again, share where you're from if you like to. Share if this is your very first time, very first session with us. And then also, if you have a business with a domain name or URL, go ahead and drop it in the chat. I always like to do a little bit of interactive things with people's businesses and things like that. That makes this training a little more real world. I like to show examples that actually show off people's businesses. Please go ahead and drop that in the chat if you don't mind. All right, let's go ahead and get this lined up here perfectly. There we go. That looks a little better. This is the Tuesday edition of our AI Lunch and Learn. We do it at 12 noon Eastern, and this allows people to kind of follow along. If you miss a session, we have the recordings here where you can kind of jump in. And there's also the AI workstation, which is on Thursdays, which is essentially if you take the platform and you white label it, meaning make it your own, then it is available. We have training on how to use it in business and things like that. Those are the two places that I would go. Let's see, we have someone from Indianapolis. Hey, how you doing? And then we have Crystal who's sharing her URL. Perfect. So I'll make sure we'll make use of that in the demo section here. If you're on the platform already, oh yeah, first time here. Hey, nonprofit doing impeccable greatness, and I just became a life and health insurance agent. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing? We'll go ahead and use both of those as examples in our demonstrations. We have here the start button, which is, I always like to start with this so that you can go in and see a recording of how to use the platform in general, and also how to use some of the apps that are on the platform, and then we can kind of jump around a little bit. Let's go ahead and start off and do a little something with, yeah, let's create a video from one of these volunteers, brave volunteers. Let me grab a URL here. Hold on just a second. And let's see if I can grab this copy. And let's try seeing if it'll let us get right there. All right. So, hey, this actually looks like it was built in Deal.ai or in our friend, let's see, was it built in the platform, BillBiz.ai? I can't remember. Let's see, let us know. And I'm kind of curious because it looks like one of the templates that I'm familiar with. Or was it Go High Level? It just has that feel to it. Let's see. Yeah, BillBiz. Hey, Crystal. I thought that looked like one of the templates that are in there. You're asking us to take a look at this and build a interesting. Okay, yeah, we can do that. It's interesting the photos that you've selected that you're using. It's interesting. Okay, cool. All right, so from here, I have to find new pics. Yeah. So you don't have to find them. You can make them. Let's do this. I'm going to do a couple of things to kind of help you along here. We'll use this as a really good example. You have in the platform, for those who have never been here before, you have many different AI tools. I was kind of just showing you around, but I'm going to do two things at once. I'm going to give the AI the URL that we were just taking a look at, and we're going to help Sophia. Oh no, Crystal. We're going to help Crystal with a few things as we kind of walk through this. We have that. That's kind of the layout of it. And then we're going to feed that into our video tool just because we want to. So in the video tool, you can feed it just a URL and ask it to make a video from it. And all you need to do is set some of the other settings, like you can add a language, you can add a logo, you can decide what kind of photo images you want it to generate. You can also go here and pick a voice. I should do this. I always like to change the voice, but you can pick any voice that you want.
Welcome to our AI-powered platform.
You have lots of voices to pick. I like Sarah for a lot of my demos. And you can upload your own music. There's also a tool in the platform to create your own music. You can pick out ambient. You can pick out some colors. For example, we noticed that the site is using a lot of the darker browns and things like that. You can pick that color. You can pick any color you want. Pick how many slides. Do you want to be portrait or landscape? And I do this one at the beginning of every class just because it's easy to demo the power of AI just from a prompt like this and then tell it to go ahead and run. Now, let's go back to just some general AI training. Now, if this is the very, very first time that you're on, I might also recommend that you for our um, join us for our evening session, which we have on Tuesdays every 2 weeks. And the reason why is that session is really very focused on just kind of getting you at the beginning. What is AI? How to create a good prompt? Things like that. It's a really good starting point, and I'll put that URL in here. Let me grab the link here and this one here. We're going to have that next week, Tuesday. Feel free to jump on that call. It's a good beginner class, in other words, a good place to start. And if you can't make it, it is also, we have previous recordings right here. And then we have the how to create a good prompt in the create method. Good stuff for everybody who's either been on them before or not on before. All right, so here's the platform. And just as a kind of a starting point, let's do some things outside the platform and in the platform at the same time. I like to train on concepts. One of the big concepts is, hey, do I have a coach? This is the AI sales coach, and this is in every platform build. You can find it. You can search for AI sales coach. It's similar to ChatGPT. And what we want to do with it is we want to give it kind of like a summary of the business and then have it help us out, help us do some things with it. I'm going to start a new chat thread based on the website that we were looking at here. And there's a lot of different ways you can get it. You can give it the URL, or you could just do old school and just highlight everything and copy everything. And so we're going to give it this information about the business and what it does and things like that. You can tell this is still being worked on, but it's still good enough to start the conversation. And so we'll actually just grab this part here. And we will feed that into both ChatGPT. Let's start a new conversation here. And let's kind of build it out. Here is info on my business. I'm going to build it out a good prompt in just a second. I just wanted to get this copied in there. There we go. Now I'll tell it to go with that. And then I'll also tell this one, this says, hi, I am S&B sales and managing coach to help you generate leads. Okay, so and so on. We don't have to go through the details of all of it, but I'm going to give it that same bit of information. And let's give it a good prompt. So give me 1 second here. I'm always prompting, but I have a couple of favorites. And I think I might have shown this one before. Let's see. I like this one here. This prompt is really good. I'll drop it in the chat as well for anybody who has a business. And what you would do is replace the actual prompt, the URL with your URL, for example. Or you could replace it with your content that you just copy pasted in here. So I can say something, you are a digital marketing expert. And so that's called setting the context. That's telling the AI who it is inviting to the table. Let me zoom in a little bit, make it a little easier to read. There we go. You are a digital marketing expert specializing in website analysis, SEO, and AEO. SEO is search engine optimization, which is what Google used to use with keywords and things like that. AEO is AI engine optimization or answer engine optimization, which just means you want to be found when people do a search in ChatGPT or Siri, any of those types of large language models. And again, we teach all of this on the beginning class. So tune in, come back in next Tuesday. But to keep moving along, this is a good prompt from the standpoint is you set the context, you tell it what it is you want it to do. In this case, review this URL and then give me a comprehensive review and suggested improvements. It's looking at that website and giving you improvements. Let's go ahead and grab the URL for that website. Again, everybody can do this on their own. They don't need me to help do this. And I'll drop this in here and I will do the same thing with this prompt. Drop it into ChatGPT. We'll do it both places. And so I'm giving it the URL and or I give it the information. I gave you the prompt with the URL or I give it just the information. So give me a comprehensive review, and then boom, here is my info on blah, blah, blah. In this case, I'm not giving it the URL. I'm going to give it the, let's get rid of this stuff. We don't need any of this. There we go. I'm just going to use the text from the URL because it's, again, it's a new website still under development. We don't want to we know if it criticizes it, it's going to tell you, hey, this is missing a bunch of things. We already know that. This is really, I just want to run the prompt so that it'll go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get the prompt here. I will give it the URL in this case, which is the URL. ChatGPT does a pretty good job with this type of prompt. And so I'm going to do both ways. And that way we'll have a little comparison, right, of what the information we get back. In this case, we'll go ahead and let it do both things. Here is the URL, and we're going to drop it right here. There we go. Perfect. I'll tell it to give me a review as well in that. And here's info on my business. Perfect. We'll run both. All right, so they're both off to the races. Let's check back in on our video. It's done making our first video, and this video is not from a script. It's just from a prompt.
Life happens. Missed payments, job loss, divorce, foreclosure, or an inherited property you don't want. Chill. Property Solutions offers tailored solutions for distressed homeowners and tired landlords. We don't just buy houses, we listen and help you choose the path that feels right. Choose a quick and fair cash offer, more time to decide, or a pressure-free walkthrough of your options. There's no obligation, no judgment, just clarity, confidence, and a plan. If you're ready to breathe easier, chill. Property Solutions is ready to listen.
Okay, here's what I like about what the AI did in that one. It just happens to be, sometimes things work out really funny, but in the pronunciation that the AI is using for the company name, it literally is also, it's a noun and a verb, and this is the way it's using it. It's like chill, and then it goes on to kind of describe what it's trying to do. That's actually hilarious. I like the way the AI is improvising, kind of ad-libbing there. That worked out pretty well. Okay, so the other feedback I would give to what the AI did there is you can see that it picks certain photos. Some of them are good, some of them are not as good. One of the things you want to do whenever you do these AI things is you do want to look at the audience that you're targeting. That's another thing we train on. AI is really, really good at certain things, but you as the human, you have to direct it in a certain direction. And in this case, you have to know what your target audience is and then use that in your images. These images are very generic and they really don't necessarily, might not be reflecting any kind of real emotion and or your audience members. Life happens, missed payments, of course, that should be a little bit more. This is a very generic photo. So I would download it just to have it and you can keep it. You can use it somewhere else, but you don't, this is not really relaying the emotion of life happens, missed payments, and all of that. We're going to want to update the script so that it shows a little bit more meaningful photos and things. Let's go back and see what kind of information that this has created. Let me go back here. I'm going to zoom back out a little bit. It's a little too much in. What's the feedback from the coach here? The coach is saying, I fed it that information. Thanks for the detail. Strength, you're empathetic, no pressure tone. Fits the distressed sellers and tired landlords. Opportunity. Clarify exactly what happens next. On your website, you want to add that. So it's telling you above the fold, and it's an old newspaper term that we still use in marketing. It just means when people land on your homepage, do they get information without scrolling that captures their attention, that guides them where you want them to go, and you also make an offer that's right away. Get a cash offer or guide. This is like a real simple thing you can put at the top of your website with a nice image or video that gets their attention, tells them exactly what you want, and then gives them a specific call to action. That's what CTA is. Get my options or call now with your phone number and tap to. So this is content that the AI is suggesting that you immediately add to your website. And what I really like about it is it's not only the visual, but it's also the sales and copy and content that you need. It's giving it all of these things that we want to do to build out this page. And I think this is really, really interesting. Now that I kind of have this here, I could go and actually turn this into a website, kind of just following along with everything that is just suggesting right here. We could copy all of this and we could take it over to one of our other tools that are in the platform. First of all, I'm going to take that. I'm going to tell it to give me a 90-second VSL, which is a video sales letter. And then it's going to give me a script now that I can use. Give me just the text with no narration or direction, right? We don't want the AI bothering to give us anything else to go with this, telling me what photos to use and all that kind of stuff, backgrounds and so on. Just the text for the script that we can feed into that same tool that we just created just a minute ago. We have that. By the way, as we go along, if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and drop them in the chat. I'll try to keep one eye on there. And so, all right, so we're learning how to use any AI tool. Here's the version from ChatGPT. It looks like I wasn't able to directly access the URL, which is interesting. Sometimes it can, sometimes it can't. But based on the information I gave it, it still gave me a bunch of stuff. It told me, and by the way, sometimes when the AI says I'm not directly able to access a URL, just give it back to it again, and a lot of times that will work. And it's only because sometimes I don't know if it's AI is known to quote unquote hallucinate. And it's just another fancy word for either getting something wrong or adding something you didn't ask for. In other words, it's just wrong. I know for a fact it can look at URLs. And so a lot of times you just tell it, yes, you can, and run the same command again, and it'll actually get it done properly. All right, but it's reading the content that I did give it, and strengths, compassionate, understanding tone aligns perfectly with a trust-based sale, focused audience, distressed homeowners, and so on and so forth. It's giving me all of the things that are in here that are pretty cool. And now it's giving me ideas for, I've had it say I can't do a certain, yeah, exactly. It'll say something like, I can't do something, and you just tell it, yes, you can, and then tell it to do the same prompt again. It's giving the same kind of content, add social proof, all the things that you should do to your website, Crystal. And then it's giving you things like, make sure I have these words in there, depending on your target market and audience. And then it's giving you suggestions like SEO improvements, things you can do. It's telling you about AEO improvements, things like this. So when we build websites for people, we look at all of these things. It's telling you to add an LLM.txt file. If you know how to do these things, you can go ahead telling you about schema markup. I'll give you an example. I have a customer that I'm working on right now. I am Michelle, the accountant. I think I showed this example on the last 7 p.m. call. So this is an example of a pretty good website. It's fine as far as getting the points across. The customer is working on her entrepreneur. If you want training, $49.95 a month class on how to be a better business bookkeeper. I can recommend that you check it out. But all in all, not a bad site. What we did though is there's another tool in the platform. So I'll show you this tool. It's actually outside of the platform. I said in the platform, but there's a link in the platform to get there. And that tool is called App Server, and it allows you to build apps. If you don't know how to do a website in AEO funnels, you can come here and have it build it for you. This is appserver.ai. I'll put the link. I think the link is already in the chat, but I'll drop it in there again. And hey, there we go. And that's appserver.ai. You come here, you can start free. But pretty soon you're basically only going to get like 2 free prompts, but you can get started with a prompt. And you can essentially go ahead and get started. It's, by the way, this whole website page and all the content and the video that's here.
Imagine creating powerful AI-driven apps without writing a single line of code.
That's Sarah. And so the video, everything, all the content was all created in the platform. Or you could do it all, of course, in any AI tool, but it's nice to have everything in one place. And that's buildbiz.ai. I'll put that in there as well for everybody who's late. This is the platform for doing signing up. You get a 7-day free trial. You get 11 books to kind of learn how to use AI in your business. I give that away without any commitment. You can cancel anytime. And so I just want to mention that as well. I like to keep everybody up to date. If I go out to appserver.ai and I go ahead and get started here, let's go ahead and I don't have to do a free trial because it's going to automatically log me in as that customer that I'm building out her website for. If I go to the dashboard, I can see her project right here. But I also have other projects that I've built in appserver.ai. For example, if I click this one, let's see if I can view it. Yeah, it's active. Here's one I'm building for film and creatives. And by the way, if you do sign up for this one, you can get a bunch of free resources and tools as well. So here are a bunch of tools. I like to give away things to make people be able to use it. I'll give you that link as well. That's what I'm building out. Is appserver.ai separate? Yes, that's what I meant by it being outside of the platform. So yes, it is an additional separate thing, but everything that I use to build this website is all in the platform. So you don't have to go outside of it if you don't want to. But if you want to build a website quickly, for example, we have this information here. I could tell ChatGPT, give me, and it knows me so well, and I can say to it, give me a ready-to-use prompt for appserver.ai or any vibe coder. There's other ones out there, but appserver.ai that it will automatically do it. I'll say yes. And I can tell it, just to be clear, make it persuasive. Actually, why am I typing all this stuff? I use a tool called Voice In. It's right here. And I'll drop the link in the chat for you as well. But I can speak just like you can speak by clicking this dictate button. But what I like about it, it's a Chrome extension. That means I can use it in ChatGPT. I can use it in the platform. I can use it anywhere that I'm using on browsing with Chrome. Let's go ahead and click that. Persuasive and a SaaS-based landing page, comma. Use the tone of Dan Kennedy blended with Gillian Perkins, comma. Give me a text-based prompt that a 10th grader could understand with no technical coding, comma. Use the colors of comma gray with a light theme and yellow and red for accents. Obviously, I could use any color scheme that I want, and I will also attach the image to give it an idea of what I want. See attached image for branding information. I'll add a photo, and in this case, the photo will be the one I just did a screenshot of. There we go. So I can see what I'm looking for. And I'll tell it to give me a prompt. It's going to make a prompt for me that I can use at any vibe coder, including appserver.ai. Once it's working on that, we can go back and I can show you where I was going. I showed you the kind of like the before picture for the accounting page where she's selling her training, $49 a month, the DIWM Elite Bookkeeping Program. And then here's what we built in App Server. I'm literally using that tool to kind of demo this for you. We had it build out this fully functional sales funnel. And as you can see, it is more modern, it's lighter, it lays out the content in a way that's attractive. And this was built in that platform. You can use that platform to build this out and have a fully functioning website. And you can see by the layout of it, it's just going to draw you in. Another really, really important part that's missing from your site, Crystal, is called FAQs. When a search engine is looking for an authority on a particular topic to give an answer to the user, I type in who's the best accounting bookkeeping trainer on the planet. It knows everything on the internet, of course, but then it's looking for authority on a particular subject. So the more citations and links you have on your page explaining why you are an expert, the better chance is for you to get found by a search engine. Having an FAQ is a very important part. It also is important for your visitor to the page because you're selling this concept that I am the expert in training. All of the questions that you have that somebody might ask ChatGPT or any other large language model needs to be on your page somewhere. These are just some of the FAQs that are answering those questions, and then the content itself needs to answer those questions. The content needs to have good SEO, search engine keywords, both short and long. All of these are, again, benefits. What are you going to get for your money? But they're also really good for helping you be found by search engines and AI engines. Those are the types of things that you want to have. Make it easy for them to know what to do. Click here to sign up now. Click here to learn more. Those are all easy things and make it attractive. And also it has to be responsive so that, whoa, let's try that again. Try to grab the edge of my browser here. It has to be responsive when you shrink it down to what's going to be on a phone, that it looks good there. Most people search for things on their phone. So your website has to look really, really good on the phone because 80% of their visitors are probably going to be on the phone. While this header here is not really perfect from the standpoint of this particular headline is a little long, is long for a mobile phone, it does still keep everything that you need to see immediately above the fold. And then it goes on to the image. And that's just the way that we designed it for this particular user. Every user is different on how you lay things out. For example, if I look at the app server landing page. Well, this is where we're building it. If I go back here to this one, when you shrink this one down, and we'll do the same thing here. We keep forgetting to grab this properly. Let's try to get. Give me just link. There we go. We should be able to grab the edge now. All right. So if we shrink all this down, so you can see this is better from the standpoint that number one, and this is a page I designed in App Server for App Server. It's kind of funny. You can see everything is shorter here so that the video and the call to action button all fits in what we call, again, above the fold. You don't have to scroll to make a decision. Hey, let me try this out. You can see everything you need, especially after you watch the video. That's why videos are good, because it condenses a lot of information into a very small space. And so you can see more as you scroll, but you see the site looks good on mobile phone or on a landscape phone. If you guys do want to book a call with us, we do build websites. We do rebrands. This is kind of what I was showing you. We can take your older site and help you build out a new site. And so what I'm trying to do with Crystal here is just give some examples. Crystal, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all of the suggestions that AI has given us, and we're going to drop this as well into the chat for you, okay? These are all the suggestions that it has made. Let me create a little quick document for you. I'm going to grab this copy. Let me create a new doc. Give me 5 seconds here, or 1 minute. It will be more accurate. And I'm going to grab all this great stuff that it is suggesting so that you can keep building your website with these ideas. Drop that in there. And then it gave me the prompt to build for App Server. I'm going to take this, and we're going to drop this into here. And let's see, I don't want any actual coding, so let's see what it's trying to give me here. Extra AEO optimization. Yeah, that's pretty good. This is what you would put into your llm.txt file. I'm going to give you all of this for the copying, but I'm not going to include it in the actual prompt that I give. Yeah, okay, we'll do this. I'll give this into your document so you have it. Prompt for App Server. And if you're wondering, yes, I do charge for this stuff, but I'm going to give it to Crystal for free. There you go. All right, so this is good. That really does get that what we want across. And now we can take this and drop it into our customer version of this. And I'm going to actually create a new one because I want to create a whole new project. And just to explain how App Server works is when you first come in here, you can pick whether you want to use advanced options like Bulldozer. If you have a very long prompt and you want it to really take its time and go through it, think of it like deep research on ChatGPT. And then there's Genius Mode, which is essentially taking really detailed, using the latest and greatest large language model to kind of go through that website and take its time and design it really, really, really well. The other option, you can have your website be public or private. If you're just getting started, you haven't even built it yet, you might want to start private, and then later on you can make it more fancy. You can create a website, you can create a mobile app, you can create a crypto project, all from one app. Very, very useful. You can also build from a single kind of idea. We gives you some free ideas right there. So those are kind of helpful as well. Anyway, I'm just going to use the prompt that we just created. I'm going to tell it to build me a SaaS landing page 4, and then it's built. It already knows this is what I wanted to build for. Here's the prompt: create a persuasive high-net SaaS landing style. This is the actual prompt right here. You could take this part actually off if you want to. Not paying attention to what I'm giving it. By the way, anything that AI gives you, you should read before you use it, just to make sure it's accurate. I'm telling it what I want it to do. Give me a like grade, and here's the tone, a blend of Dan Kennedy. By the way, Dan Kennedy is an old school but very effective marketer. And then Gillian Perkins just happens to be a YouTuber. I just happen to like her style. I like to combine that aggressive marketing kind of content with a more chilled personality like Gillian Perkins. I kind of blend them together. I find it to be. And then it gives you your target audience. The AI is giving you a lot of good stuff. It's giving you the layout, why chill properties, and it's laying out some basic things that we want to include. This is all good stuff. And by the way, if you're invisible text. Okay, this, yeah. You want to, whenever you're in the real estate space, there's compliance issues, and you want to be very careful that you're not breaking any of the rules. For example, if you're an agent, you have to have your broker on there, so on and so forth. There's lots of rules to it. You can actually tell ChatGPT to also make sure that all of the rules are being adhered to for your particular state, and Georgia's GREC, wherever you happen to live. So you can tell it to be careful with that stuff. But anyway, we just want to go ahead and build. I'm not going to turn on any of these because when you turn on the extra features, you get better stuff, but it also costs more. Someone asked about pricing in the model. I can show you around a little bit on how the pricing model works, but the lowest tier is $47 a month, and then there are other charges that you can get hit with, like hosting or usage and so on and so forth. I'll show you that in just a second. Anyway, back to where we were building here. I was showing you app server. Let's go back into our tool here, the AI sales coach. While that's building, it's the other tool is building. So it'll actually tell you as it goes exactly what it's doing. I'll help you build a stunning, high converting SaaS. It's kind of like having a chief technology officer and a bunch of developers working for you. And so it's building out a hero section. It's doing all the things. It's building all this for you. While it's doing that, I'm going to bounce back over to our agent. And so let's see. I think I told it to build me a script. Why is this fighting with me? Come on, scroll. All right, so here's a script. We're going to take this script and drop that into our friend here. Oh, here we go. Let's try this again. Let's see if I can get everything this time. There we go. This is a new script, and so we're going to take that back to our builder here. As I said, this is not bad, but we would improve the images that it gave us. And so I can take this and I can drag, let's create a new one. Let's go back up here. And we're going to, instead of a link, this time we're going to use text. We have a good script. And so you want to give it the best to start with. And so, like I said, the one that it created by itself wasn't really bad. But now we can get even more salesy, more, the tone is still going to be polite and not super persuasive or marketing-y. Marketing, that's a new word. So let's go ahead and
welcome to our AI.
I didn't play that voice. He's all over the internet. Let's do Sarah. Let's go ahead and knock out these other things quickly. Again, you can upload your own music. You can pick your own color schemes. You can do portrait. So if you're going to drop it into a reel or a short, you can do portrait. You're going to put it on marketing on Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. All right, so I think we've got the basics of what we want. And by the way, it's easy to make a longer video. You can just add more slides to it. All right, so that should be off to the races and creating a video for us. Okay, so that's running. Let's go back to our builder and see where we are. All right, so it's wrapping up. So it's generating some images and it's working very quickly here. So that's all good. Let me make sure I have my document. I'm going to drop this in the chat for Crystal in just a second. I'm just building a little Word doc here. So we have the script, we have the prompt. Oh, let me get the video script. And so I'm going to get the video script. Let's get this here. And then Control C, or you can just click the link here. There's a link on the bottom. And here's the script. And drop that in there. All right, so you got three things in here. You got the script, you got the improvements that were suggested. So these are all good things for it to give you. All right. I think did I get both versions of this? I can't remember, but it's good enough. All right, so there you go. That is on its way. I will also share this thread with everybody. Let's grab that, and it's working on it. When you come here, you get a lot of good stuff for free. All right, let me give you this prompt. Let's see, I think I copied it. There we go. Let's drop that in here. Boom. That's the ChatGPT thread. Okay. That'll get you going on the analysis of your current website, what's missing and things you need to improve on. And by the way, Crystal is building in the AEO website creator. This is literally where she is. She's building out her website. Obviously, I don't have access to her exact website, but it's an editor which builds really, really good websites. It includes a AEO LLM text and all those types of things. It knows how to build a really good website. So for example, where Crystal is right now is she needs some things like a good FAQ section, things like that. This is a template. If you look at the templates in there, you can tell this might be what she used for her template, but you can see that it's laid out. You can drop a video in, just do a link to YouTube, Vimeo, or Vistia. Has that call to action. You can do a different back. So this is just one of the templates then in here. There's a whole host of, well, a whole host, maybe 25 or so templates that you can pick from that might already have the color scheme that you like. Like any good AEO website builder, then you can add products, like if you can link with Stripe for subscriptions and things like that. You can build really good websites. This website for my wife's business, she does sister locks. That's my beautiful wife right there. And you can build a website like this. You can build, let's see, find another one. What's another good one? Let's see, was this one built in there? Let's see. Yep, this one was built in there as well. Here's a whole different, totally different look and feel website. What's another one? Oh, I have so many websites that customers we have built for customers in here. But the idea is, I don't remember the next one, but you can essentially build any kind of website. Let's go back and see if this thing is humming along here. Hey, time for it. I built this website in, I don't know, 5 minutes and 1 second of work. It costs $3.09 to build, but it is not the cheapest platform. If you want to keep the cost down, keep it in AEO funnels. But what I like about what this just did is it'll kind of lay out for you a good layout. Now you can take this layout and duplicate it in your AEO funnels. When you're thinking about how do I want to lay out this page, it does a pretty good job of kind of laying it out for you. So take that prompt, analyze what you've got right now, what you need to fix, and then you could run this and kind of get a really good idea. No fees, no repairs, close in 7 days. Those are your call to actions. You want to put that out there. Facing foreclosure, divorce, or tenant problems will help you sell fast. These are really, really good. And yes, by the way, you would basically here you would publish it and you would replace this temporary domain with your own domain. Let me show you how to do that quickly. In project settings, you would go in here and you would add a domain and you give it a domain, chillproperties.com. I forgot what the domain is. and it would then give you instructions on how to connect your registrar, like GoDaddy or whomever, with this. It basically would point to that. So now when somebody typed in chillproperties.com, it would come to this landing page, or you can use a subdomain if you don't want to use your main domain, which is what I tell people for sales funnels all the time. A sales funnel is separate and different than a website. A website is your brochure. It's got every page, every feature, every function. A sales funnel is focused on one thing only, and the call to action is simple. You can't get off the page any other way than to click the call button, call to action button, or to just shut down the whole page. That's what a sales funnel is. It's focused on one thing. In this case, this sales funnel is focused on getting you to sign up or get more information. The idea being, you can make it, you can share this link. I'm going to give you this link so you can kind of see it. I'm going to drop it in the chat. And there we go. That's in the chat. And that'll take you out to this page where people can check it out. The idea being, yes, you can use your own domain or subdomain. You can make it live as soon as you're ready. Make it, and boom. What you'd want to do is go back here to all of this, and you would want to test all your buttons. Like, where does this button go? Right now, it's not going to go anywhere because we haven't told it where to go. You can set it up to your calendar. You can set it up to a form. You can tell it to make a pop-up where it collects information. There's all kinds of ways. You can literally just speak English into the prompt here, and it'll design it that way. It basically made it where there's a form. As I said, the form is here, but this form doesn't go anywhere right now. If I filled all this out, it wouldn't actually go anywhere because there's other things you need to build to be able to do that. And in here, this suggests to you your next step, like build a database, create an admin dashboard, create an email notification system. Those are all the things you need to make this actually a functioning website. All right. Is this easier than the one I already have in the platform? Yes and no. Meaning you can do all of this stuff in the platform using AEO website builder, but you just have to, it's a more of a manual process where the builder here is more, you kind of follow along the little green boxes, or you type in instructions of what you want to happen. You could say something like, when I click the get your options today button, I want it to go here, and you can connect it up to your calendar, that kind of thing. You can tell it, hey, fix this phone number. So I could click on edit right here, and it'll give me the link. Some things are easier, and so I could change the phone number from 1234 to 256, and so now I'll get too many numbers in here now, but you get the idea. You can do some things easily, similar to AEO funnels, or you can do bigger things but a prompt. And those are all different things. What's the difference? The difference is discard changes. I'm not keeping that. The difference is manual versus more agent or AI driven, and also the cost associated. I was going to show you guys the costs. How does this work? The way that it works is, oh, that's sorry, I clicked the wrong place. Let's go to the dashboard. There we go. In the dashboard, it gives you a link for your billing and so on. You can manage your subscription, and so there's different subscription prices. Oh, this is brand new. I love these things. Every time I come in here, I see something new. They just created this mini, and it's $14 a credit. And I think I showed you just a minute ago that the website build costs $3 and something. You could build a website for $7, and if you're efficient, it's very hard to do, trust me. But here's what's good. You may go up to $47 to get your site built, right? And then after you've used it, you can go back down to $7 a month. And what's great about that is you can downgrade or upgrade either way that you want to. Right now, we're on the $97 plan for this particular customer because it costs $103 or something like that to build a website. That's what I meant by you have to kind of spend. But think about it. Can you get somebody to build a website for 100 and something? No. I don't do my websites when I build a website for a customer starts for a single page at $899, which is still pretty cheap for the industry. And if you start off at $899, you're using my time to build your website in a couple of weeks. Whereas you, it may take you longer to do it because you don't understand how to get there. But alternatively, you could build your own website for 50 bucks and get it up and running. Now, are there other charges for hosting it on here? Yes, that's why I'm saying I want to be very transparent with you and make sure everybody understands that there are additional costs. Here we go. This is the link I'm looking for. This one describes all the costs. You're not surprised if you start building on this platform. Really, really important thing to remember is when you are not using a project, please put it to sleep. For example, we just built this. I'm gonna leave it active for a day or two so Crystal can play with it. But the thing that you want to do is if you're not using it, so you don't get charged hosting or usage or CPU or any of these other things, is go down here at the very bottom and click this button and put it to sleep. As soon as you put it to sleep, you don't get charged anymore. Okay? That's a really important thing. All right. Yes, it would normally take a couple of weeks, and AI is amazing. I fully agree with you. All right, so are the charges only for create update places, not for okay, yes, it does. Yes, exactly right. That's that link I gave you right there. It talks about the usage charges and how it works. That's why I said if you want to keep the cost down, the AO funnel builder in the platform is the least expensive way to do it because you're only paying 20 bucks a month. You get 5 terabytes of storage. You get hosting included for your 20 bucks a month. It is so much cheaper to build it and maintain it in the platform for your 20 bucks a month. That is why I said one is faster, easier. One is less expensive, but it requires you to actually build it or pay somebody to build it for you, like our team. Our team can build out any website that you want done. I've shown you a few examples. All right, back to our AO funnels. Let's see what we got on the scripted version of this. And I will give you, Crystal, both versions. And so here's the one that we just created. It should be right here. There we go.
Behind on payments or facing a tough property decision in Metro Atlanta? Chill. Property Solutions is your local team that listens and helps homeowners and landlords choose the right path. Choose a quick, fair cash offer, more time to decide, or an as-is solution without pressure. Worried about foreclosure and inherited home repairs or tenants? We protect your timeline, handle paperwork, and Perfect Tenant restores predictability. Schedule a quick consultation, share your goals, and get clear, no-obligation options. Often a same-day range offer. Call or schedule now with Chill Property Solutions and choose the path that fits your life.
Really interesting is that it got a lot of things right. I particularly like it still used that emphasis. It's a noun versus a verb and said chill and then went on. And then the second time it read it, it didn't do that. It just kind of gave you Chill Property Services as a single kind of thing. It's really, really cool how it's playing around with the wording. Again, same thing with images. Now, the way that you should do your images for your website and for your video, you would go in here and you would say, okay, this one behind on payments, facing a tough property. That's kind of really not a good image. I would take, let's go back in here. I'm not going to build. One of my favorite tools is hyper-realistic AI images. This is the one I use for pretty much all the images you see all over the place. And so I would say, number one, go back into your, let's do this. Let me do this. I'm going to do it two quick ways. I'm going to go here and I'm going to see what we want here. Okay. This is the content that we fed. So it created that video sales letter for me. And I could either give it that video sales letter. And so what you're doing here is training the AI for the hyper-realistic on your business. So you could tell it, hey, if you're feeling overwhelmed, da, 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 da. It's giving image, you're asking it, you feed it the information about your business and tell it, give me 20 image ideas. Or you could literally go in and have it start creating something. We know that this video needs to get improved. I could right click on this, or actually I'm gonna go out of it altogether. And I'm gonna go two places. I'm gonna show you around a little bit more. Big Dream Generator is where every user should start. It takes your ideas out of your head about your vision and your business, helps you create a target audience, define what your core problem is, what's the transformation you take this and feed this now into the other AI tool. You train it on your business the proper way. This is what this tool, Big Dream Generator, is for. Now that I have it starting to do things, I can also go to Hyperrealistic and I could tell it short version. All right, so it created, let's see, it tells my story. Here's the setting the context. And then here's my image idea, a smiling couple in their kitchen table, points to a simple option. This is the winning one. Let's do the pain one. We need the pain one first. Let's go to image. Let's see, close up of a stack of, yeah, this is a good one. Stack of overdue bills, stamp paid. Oh, wait a minute. We want the before picture first. It's giving you actual ideas. This is the after pictures that it's building. And tools, close with a forge, no repairs needed. That's not a bad one either. Let's do this one. A stack of overdue. We're going to change the prompt. All right, so this is good. All right, so let's do that. You got 16 by 9 is horizontal, 1 by 1 is square, 2 by 3 is vertical. These are different image sizes. I'm going to tell it to do one with overdue stamped on there instead of paid, because I want the pain first. That'll be the first image because that goes with the script, pain. And so we'll tell it to go ahead and build this. So now, one of the things, that's perfect. So let's grab that one. Tell the AI if it does a good job, by the way. And we'll grab that. Actually, this should be, it's fine. It should be a bill, not money, but it's fine. It's actually a good image from what I wanted quickly here. I'm gonna tell it to bank another one while we go and fix the other part. If I go now to here, we'll go to the video that we were just working on. By the way, if you notice, I have two tabs open. That's an easy way to bounce between the different tools. We go back in here and edit, and we'll upload that image that we just downloaded. Let's see. There we go. And so it'll upload it right there. Overdue, that's the one we wanted, right? Behind on payments, facing. You want to develop these images to create the emotion that goes with the script, obviously. Choose a fair, quick cash offer as an answer without pressure. That's pretty good. Let's go back here. Let's see if we can find one that does that for us. A hand holding a smart, same day cash office. All right, let's see what happens here. Let's get this image. In other words, it gives you 20 ideas. This one says same day cash offer. Good. We're going to grab that. And again, if your target audience is, can you come closer to your mic? Oh, sorry about that. My mic was actually pointing away from me. How about this? Is this better? Sometimes I get so focused on things that I miss the little details. We should say utility bill, exactly. You could be very precise about it. Same day cash offer, not bad. It's like a 3-star. It's not great, but we can tell it to make another one. Let me download this one while it's working on another one. And so we'll tell it to create another one. Go. All right, way better. You guys should have told me this. Natalie, come on. We've been on this phone call for an hour. I apologize. I usually do check on admin and housekeeping at the beginning of a call. You guys would have caught that already. But yeah, I have a very big studio mic here, so it's just my fault. All right, so now we've got this is a little bit better, but obviously the text here is terrible. So we'll tell it, no, I hated that one. You can either give it a 1-star or you can just delete it because that one's not going to work. And by the way, we have tools in the platform that can help you fix those. You can literally tell it, hey, using conversational AI, that is not good. Fix this. A dusty toolbox, no repairs needed, and so on and so forth. We can get more ideas for things. We can upload our fair cash image here. Let's see. This is when the actual one that we had before. This one, welcome, new start accepted, cash offer. The only problem is this 055 makes no sense. But other than that, it's a fine image. Let's see if I got this. That one is a little hard to read, but it's fine. Okay, so worried about foreclosure, tenants in repair, schedule a quick consultation, share your goals. That one's not terrible. Call a schedule now with chill properties. All in all, not bad. You could edit the image. So you literally can go into hyper realistic, or you can go into what's another good one? Oh, I mentioned it before, conversational images AI. This is a really cool tool, and I can upload an image. Let's see here. Let's upload an image. And what's the one I just did? I think I downloaded it. Maybe not. There we go. Open. And so I could take this and say something, make the couple right? And tell it to run. Now it'll tell you how many credits it's going to use. While it's doing it, I'll show you. Credits are our way of democratizing the platform. If you don't use an app, you don't get charged any more than your $19.95. But if there's something that you want to do, you can select to get credits. And in this case, 1,000 credits is $6.99. This one uses 19 credits. You noticed on the AI video, it uses 50 credits. So different tools. If you do use a tool, you only pay for the credits that you want to do. It's a good industry way to kind of get it to work that way. That's one thing you could do. You could also, if you have ChatGPT, you could also upload an image. So you can do that. Let's see if I can find that image. There we go. Sometimes ChatGPT does this well, sometimes it does not. Change the couple in this image to a black couple. Now, by the way, we could generate this image in hyperrealistic for free. You know, that is not difficult to do. That was one of the things I wanted to show you as well. It said it failed to create the image. I saw that message flash. Let's see if it actually does make it all the way through. It seems to be still trying to do it. Let's see what happens. Did it fail? Did it succeed? Sometimes AI can be a little touchy. By the way, patience is a really good virtue when dealing with AI tools. All right, it doesn't look like it worked because it got to 100% and I still don't see a new image. Let's see. Change the couple to a black couple. Image to a black couple. All right, let's try this again. I don't need to make a complicated prompt. I just need it to work. Let's try 16 by 9 to match the other images. We'll try it one more time. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. It's fine. All right, so we have that there. Let's see what ChatGPT did. Oh, still working on it. Some things are faster than others. My LLMs might be getting a little bit better. All right. Hey, Natalie. I would take a couple of weeks to build a page. I'm just reading through the chat, make sure I didn't miss any. All right, good, good, good. All right, so here's a good one coming along. Come on, you can do it, ChatGPT. Hey, look at that. Love it. Perfect. That's exactly what we wanted. And let's download this. And then we will upload this to our video. It's working on the download. It should take another second or two. And upload right here. All right, let's see if we got the new image. There we go. Boom. Changed. This is how easy it is to edit and kind of move around and create this thing. Share your goals and get no obligation offers, often in a day range offer. This is a quick consultation. So that's kind of like the message that we want to use in here. So I would go back here. Let's go to hyper realistic. Once you step out of the app, it does require you to restart that 20 image idea thing. For chill properties, need an image for, let's do that. It probably doesn't care about that. Schedule a quick consultation. That's the idea, the concept. Let's see if what it can do here. I'll ask it to create an image. You would want to give it, by the way, more descriptive, like the colors and the image. Specifically, what do you want? The more specific you are, the better the image is going to be for you. Schedule a quick for chill properties. It tried. It really, really, really tried, but it's not quite. And this is silly. Oh, AI, I love it. It was a very bad prompt, and I got a very bad image. That's on me. All right, so I think we kind of got a little bit off track here. Let me finish this up so I just can make this video for you guys, and we will wrap this right up. Let's see, let's create a better image. Actually, we're not going to do that. Perfect. Let that run. Let's see. We've built out a website. We've built out a I've given you kind of a view of app server. I've built out a couple of videos for you, and we're just kind of tweaking the rest of it right now. So this will be done. And I think that, so anybody have any more questions while I do this? And I'm also going to share the links again for anyone who jumped in late. I will also include the link for VoiceIn if you're on the Chrome. There you go. There's some links. If anybody has any questions or comments, please go ahead and drop them in the chat while we get this last image here. Schedule a quick consultation. Perfect. So we'll give it a 3. It's not horrible. It's not great. And I will download this and drop it in here. By the way, what I would also do, if you were further along with your website, I would have an image from your website. Instead, it would be something like, it would be your logo, things like that. You want to have like that image. Take a screenshot from your own computer where you're have your screen up on your website with your logo and book a consultation. So you want to get your logo into the video. That's what I would do there. All right, let's see if this last image, let's just drop this in here and let's recreate this video. There we go. Let's drop that puppy in there. All right, it's very similar, but at least it says schedule a consultation instead of what it was saying before. And by the way, any words that you type here will basically show up in there, right? Click. It says call or schedule. You can type in something like call or click below to schedule. There you go. Anything you type in there, the AI will say. You can add a scene if you want to make it longer. You can delete a scene if it's too long. So you have complete control. It's going to create that video, and that will be pretty much where we wrap for today, I think, unless someone has questions. Let me check the chat. All right. Thank everybody for jumping on. One more little quick section here and we'll be done. Remind me next week. I want to definitely talk about Lead Biz. Lead Biz is a tool that allows you to, oops, there we go, allows you to create voice, not voice, well, it does voice too, email, SMS, or voice agentic leads generations. It's really, really powerful. And I do want to spend some time talking about the new features that are in here. So they've kind of ramped up some of the basic processors that are in here. It has the ability for you to do a broadcast email or a blast. Has the ability for you to do smart goals. Smart goals are much better because you can, instead of creating a very complicated workflow in like a GHL or something, you can effectively go in here and create a prompt. It's really still a prompt where you can have a target, like, so for example, AI in 1 hour. I do every Tuesday. I'm going to run this to drive people to the event October 14th next week, telling them about it. But it's not going to be the same email to each person. It's going to be different for each person. And it'll take pieces of all the things I give it, including I can give it different call to actions. I can give it different, so here's an alternate subject lines. I can give it different subject lines. And more importantly, when somebody responds, it'll continue the conversation without me being involved. I could connect it to a calendar. But this is the last one I did. I had a 38.5% open rate. That tells you that it's getting into the inbox. What happens with spam blocking and other tools out there, if you send everybody on your list the same exact email, Google is going to say this is spam, or more importantly, might say it's a promotional offer. It's not an individual email, right? Yes, Lead Biz, thanks for the question, is also available from within the platform, but it is an outside tool. But what's nice about Lead Biz is it's purely, and I do mean purely, a agentic tool. There's no monthly cost at all, zero monthly cost. It is a per usage tool. And the way that it works is if I go to the billing, it is 0.097 cents per 1,000 if you do a mass emailing, or it's 4 cents or 97 cents per 1,000, or it's 4 cents per email. This is really, really good. It'll cost you $40 per 1,000 emails, but you'll be getting a 30 getting a much higher open rate, which is the goal of any email. You can spend 97 cents per 1,000, but you might end up in the other or spam folder. You have a much better, much better chance of landing in the inbox if every email you send is different. That's why I use it when I do my marketing, because I want to have that high open rate. Now, is everybody going to get 38%? No, of course not. But it's much better than if you send it as an email blast. That's what its purpose is. And more importantly, the AI handles conversations. Like what I have in my email goal is I tell it, hey, if somebody wants to have a conversation with me, here's my calendar link. And it will schedule a call because it'll go into Google Calendar, see my availability, and schedule a call. It is an agent. It works for you and performs tasks for you. Let's take a look at this latest version and then I'll share it.
Behind on payments or facing a tough property decision in Metro Atlanta? Chill. Property Solutions is your local team that listens and helps homeowners and landlords choose the right path. Choose a quick, fair cash offer, more time to decide, or an as-is solution without pressure. Worried about foreclosure and inherited home repairs or tenants? We protect your timeline, handle paperwork, and Perfect Tenant restores predictability. Schedule a quick consultation, share your goals, and get clear, no-obligation options, often a same-day range offer. Call or click below to schedule now with Chill Property Solutions and choose the path that fits your life.
Much better. Now, by the way, how can she sound like a real person? There's a couple of ways that you can do this. There is no hyper realistic voice in Create AI videos. But what you could do is number one, you could just take this video that you've created and you could do the voiceover yourself. That's highly recommended. Can't sound more human than a human. By the way, let me download this so I can drop it in there for you. You can't, let's download that. So that's number one. That's one way to do it. And let me get this link here. Give me one more second. I just want to make sure you get your video. And boom. All right, that's number one. The other way, and whoa, this is going to require a little bit of editing on your part. So you can, there's a movie editor tool in the project, or you can use Camtasia or CapCut or Canva or any other tool so that you can do a voiceover on top of it. The other thing you can do is, let's go to spokesperson. You can go to spokesperson and you can blend in.
Did you know that?
You can blend in your voice with your image. So you can create your own project in here. For example, wait a minute. Let's do the little kid. The little kid's a lot cuter. There you go. This little kid is cute. But by the way, you can do this with any voice that you have. Whoops.
Did you when
I'll do this one. It says right here.
Did you know that nearly half of Georgia's renter households pay over 30% of their income on housing? This staggering statistic reminds us why safe, decent housing is more than just a policy issue. It's the foundation of thriving.
What you could do is have this AI read it. The voice is better. And by the way, this was just a picture I uploaded off of the customer's website, so it was no fancy image or anything. And so you type the script and the AI will read it. But more importantly, you can upload your own voice. You can train it on your own voice. And so it'll use your voice. And you can have this running, and then you could switch between the B-roll style of the other video. You can have a combination of a live spokesperson, your image, your face, with a script that you've written, have the AI read the script with any voice that you select or your own voice. That's how you can get a little bit more realistic voice as well. Okay?
Hey,
There's different
Realtist,
options.
can we be real?
This is one I did the other day.
Hey, Realtist, can we be real for a second? Ever feel like your real estate career is stuck on cruise control while golden opportunities fly right past you?
So you can see
It's
this
time to
one,
shift
I
gears
would
at the
mix it.
Realtist Family Reunion.
Okay, stop.
Join us on Thursday.
Whoops. I would mix it in with different images and things whenever you don't like the lip sync or something. So those are options for you as well. There's lots of ways to get it to a point where it's more realistic. Let's see if this project is working. Why is this not one? Oh, there we go.
You call yourself a CEO, but you don't even know your AIQ score. Me? I already know mine. I run things at Recess and in the metaverse. Take the quiz. Beat my score if you can.
Very short script, but the idea is you can play around with it. I think the voices in the AI spokesperson avatar are better, but you can, again, use your own voice as well. Hopefully that helped. All righty. I'm going to stop here. We're over by almost a half an hour. I appreciate everybody kind of stuck through this one, and we showed quite a few different tools. I'll be back on Thursday at noon for the AI Lunch and Learn for the AI spokesperson, AI workstation. There we go. And then I'll be back next week, Tuesday at noon to continue this. If you guys remind me, I'll do the biz training as well. All in all, pretty good hour and a half. Everybody have a fantastic rest of your day. I will talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.